guys, welcome back to the channel. Got a nice update. Oops, you weren't supposed to see that. In this episode, we're gonna go ahead and get primer on that engine bay before we show you putting paint on it. So here we go.
Hey, you want to fill that up again?
Sweet.
Getting to the front side of this is going to be hard.
Where?
Right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
Looking pretty good though.
it is. Looking sweet. Do a walk around here. At least with those guns, the overspray is at a minimum.
Yes, yes.
Them old guns, man.
We'd have a cloud already.
I know it. Yeah, we did one back when I was a kid in junior high, and it just made a huge cloud. The overspray was crazy.
That was almost enough.
Almost enough.
Yeah. Well, I haven't covered it yet. I can get going on
Now that it's glossy, you can see some like waves or stuff in the cowl that looks like it needs attention. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That may drop out.
Yeah, it could. I don't know what it is.
I probably get pretty close to camera.
Yeah.
So you got enough to really kind of watch some stuff out.
Right. Yeah, it'd probably be a good idea.
All right, guys, it's Mike from 309 Streetcars. Yesterday we painted we primed the engine bay of the Superbird. So I thought it'd be a good time to kind of give you a little update video, film an outro or basically a completion to that event, and kind of show you what the finished product looks like and explain where in the process we are on all of these things and kind of what's next and what it looks like. So I'll turn the camera around and we'll get started. Okay, so finish primered engine bay. And there's been a lot of work Dwayne's done to the engine bay. So he's essentially smoothed everything out and done the firewall, kind of left it stock appearing, but yet maybe a cleaner, nicer version of it. So that's taken care of. You can see that like all of the factory wrinkles that are in these firewalls and up here in the cowl area, all that stuff's been filled and straightened out. Same thing on the fender aprons, the inner fenders. That's all filled and straightened on both sides. So, and then filled all the little spot weld divots and everything else that kind of looks to be needing it. And then we cut in some openings here for EGT bungs on each side. One there and one over in that corner. So we'll be running Holley EFI with the Dominator, and we'll definitely be looking at EGTs for diagnostics and tuning purposes. So we did the cowl up here as well. You can see where we've kind of made our tape line or whatever. That way we've got blue all the way down in case you can kind of see down through the fender and the inner apron there, inner fender, once the fenders are bolted on. And cowl's pretty decent. We got a little bit of touch up here when we do some wet sanding and final sanding. We've got to do some slight filling, and then we'll probably have to primer over that. But the next stage will be blue on the cowl, and basically everything you see in primer will be painted blue. Then we can work on getting a windshield in there, which will help to keep the inside clean. And once that blue paint's on there, we could move forward with that, or we'll see kind of how things go. I got to kind of evaluate the condition of the windshield that I have, so that'll determine a few things. So mid plates done, and those mounts are in. I used the motor plate out of the other car, so I need to make a motor plate for this car, and unfortunately I didn't make a template of it, so now I've got to go back and kind of recreate that motor plate. We'll see what that looks like. I may just go ahead and tear the one out of the green car, which is the motor plate that was originally intended for this car, and trace it, make a template of it, just so both are identical and the engine's in the same position in both cars. So we'll see. Twin 88s, so with V-band exhaust housings. Shouldn't be any back pressure issue with those. So we've got the doors off the car, basically because the doors are pretty well ready to go. Do a little finish work to them, and then we can get those in paint. Mike Grossen currently has the fenders, and he's finishing up the fenders. And then the water tanks I need to finish up a few things on this tank, get that painted, and it can go back on. And then there is the driver's side water tank. Those are for the intercoolers, which are right there. And all of that mounts in the nose. And well, they're taped over, but you can see them from this side. They go right through the front core support. And then there's some plumbing that ties it into the intake. So all that'll go on and go back together. Need to kind of keep working on quarter panels and rockers. So most of the Bondo work has been done. We've got to do all the finish work and get them ready to paint. So been doing some work on the trunk. This fiberglass trunk's lid has been quite the project. Added fiberglass up in the front and on this side to make it actually fit the opening and have the right shape. And now it's a matter of just finishing all that out. The shape on the back, we're gonna have to add Bondo to the trunk lid on the back all the way to make that shape the same as these quarter panel caps. So then once we can do that, we'll be ready to prime the back end and prime the trunk lid and all of that. So work's done on the quarter panels for the most part. Need to go over some of these, take these down with a file, dress them out, and then any puttying or glazing or anything that's necessary to put on there. And then we can start primering up that quarter panel. So it won't be long, we'll have the entire tub in blue. So that's the goal for this spring. Wing is currently done, painted and packaged up. Nose is obviously done and painted and currently sitting on my kitchen table right now. So that can go back on. We've got to get once the engine bay is painted blue, we can get the intercoolers on, permanently mounted, the divider panels, all that front end sheet metal can go back on. So looking forward to getting the fenders back and getting all that done. And then we can work on the matching trailer. So got one tub in, need to get the other tub in, and then start working on sheet metal floor and getting all this ready for its first expedition via drag and drive. That should be sick week 2026. So lots of work to do. But anyway, that's the current update on the Superbird, and we'll keep going on this project. So you'll continue to see more as we plow forward. All right, guys. Well, like, share, and subscribe. Appreciate it if you've made it this far, and stay tuned for the next episode.